Activities Committee to order. Will we give any public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to our first item. Dr. Brevard.
In November of every year, one of the questions that the board has wanted to know first before we begin the calendar development is what will be the first day for the following year. So that's a question most parents want to know, and until the board, when the board gives that direction, it's very easy for us to be able to fill in the rest of the year. It's 184 days. We have calendar holidays that we're required to follow, and and some leeway. But since we work with the two other school districts, Palisades and Quakertown, and the VOTEC, we need to be on the same page for at least 99% of the time. The traditional practice has been that when Labor Day is the first, second, or third, we begin after Labor Day. If it's the 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th, then we start before. There's always discussion about what happens when Labor Day is the 4th, but that is not the case. Labor Day this fall is September the 7th, so we will be starting, the recommended starting date is going to be August 31st, and that's, if I don't hear any objection from the board, that's the day we will use to build the calendar. The other two school districts will be using that date as well, and then we'll be able to bring to you a developed calendar, hopefully in January.
Are there any concerns, or can we move this forward? Any concerns about the August 31st start date? Nope. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Brevard.
And just information, point of information, coming up in January, you will have the calendar hopefully to look at. And also we have a bigger item. This is the final year for the kids care contract. So we are going to be working on that and have those people to come with you forward early enough so if there are questions, we can get this done so that it's a smooth transition regardless of whether you stay with them or we move another place. I have to start early so we don't disrupt services for our kids. So just a heads up on that.
I'd like to move on. Well, that's our last agenda item. I would like to I have a question for the administration. I would just like to confirm, I'm sure you already have, are there conversations between you and all the coaches, regarding all the hazing and all the things that are going on in the other districts? Have they been in contact and have you met with them to ensure that nothing is going on in Pennridge? Okay.
I've definitely been in contact with Mr. Bona and with Mr. Babb, and Mr. Babb actually provided me with a list of all the activities that our coaches do take part in with the different sports in a positive fashion.
Right.
And some even go so far as to have sessions on respect and being good role models and things like that, and positive ways of, quote, welcoming students into a club or an organization. So yes,
I just want to make sure we were addressing, and that's all the coaches, all the sports, not just
That's correct.
singling out football. Okay.
Right.
And Dr. Bard, one last item. The last activities meeting, Mr. Schmidt had some concerns about the prices of football tickets, not the discounted student tickets not being extended to the middle school, and also you had wondered if the elementary school students would have free access. You're going to come back to us with information. Did you have time to look into that, or are you going to wait till we get closer to the next season?
We're going to wait till we get to March.
Okay.
Because that way we're done with the seasons and we'll be able to, I guess, address that. That's was the timeline I was looking at. So you need to make sure you make a decision before we start the 2015-16 school year. So we'll have that conversation. I need to have Mr. Bowe and I'll have Mr. Babb, but I'll set it up. Probably March is going to be the time we look at that. We're beyond the calendar or beyond some other bigger contract issues with kids care. So then we have time to work on that. And then we have March, and we have May, and we also can set another meeting if we're not done.
Okay.
Yep.
I just wanted to make sure you were
Yep, it's on the list.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments from the board before I move to public comment? Public comment? Seeing none, the meeting is adjourned.